Coming up on AgweekTV.
Can a champion for the region's agriculture survive the Trump effect again?
It's only October, but the harvest is already starting to wind down in parts of the western corn belt. We visit a Minnesota hemp grower to find out how his first harvest turned out. And we'll have fraud protection tips for grain and livestock producers. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. Up until this week's winter weather, harvest progress in the western corn belt was at record pace, or at least the fastest in many years. As of October 18th, soybean harvest was 3/4 done nationally, but past the 90% mark in most of the region and well ahead of normal. Corn harvest is over 60% done nationally and across the region, and states like South Dakota are 40% ahead of normal pace. Most farmers can agree that up until this week, 2020 may have been a record-setting harvest season in the western corn belt in regards to the pace. However, they can't say the same thing about yields. I headed to the field to see how the late season drought impacted corn production. This year's corn harvest in northwest Iowa has been quite a surprise, both on the quick pace and the yields.
The yields here, I would say generally have been down probably 10 to 20% from last year, but would have to also say that I think better than expected.
Coymus says that's because western Iowa experienced a flash drought the last half of the season.
We're running here 180 to 200, which, the best ever maybe on this farm that we're standing on is 220. So we're surprised, the way the summer finished, the way the growing season finished, that the crop hung on.
The exception is corn on corn, which ran 50 bushels below normal. However, they hope to make up some revenue with minimal drying costs.
Super dry, the corn is. I mean, this stuff we're doing today is like 13-14%. And test rates have been really better than expected, 58, 59.
In east central South Dakota, Don Shire says they're also pleased with their corn crop.
Corn is running from 180 to over 200, same thing. It just depends on where the field is located. And so it's fun when you're harvesting corn that's over 200.
And those yields held throughout the state, even with the drought.
We're still in that 200 plus range in a lot of the area. And again, with being able to harvest 90+% of the field, a farmer's field average is going to be very, very strong compared to the last couple of years.
Shire says the corn is also much drier than last year, but standability is an issue.
This field today that we're in, it's at 14. That corn had to take the moisture from someplace, and it took it out of the stock.
And another big contrast from 2019 is better market prices.
We kind of did some pre-selling. Wish we had more to sell because prices are going up.
Farmers in certain areas of Minnesota won't be able to make applications of nitrogen fertilizer on crop ground this fall. The groundwater protection rule prohibits applications of most forms of commercial nitrogen fertilizer, including anhydrous ammonia, in areas that are vulnerable to groundwater contamination. The restriction also applies to frozen ground. The rule went into effect on September 1st and aims to minimize potential sources of nitrate pollution in drinking water and protect public health. North Dakota, the nation's top producer of canola, enjoyed a smooth harvest and relatively good yields this season. Despite some moisture concerns mid-season, USDA is estimating the North Dakota crop averaged 1,770 pounds per acre, with some fields over a ton per acre. That compares to 1,800 pounds in 2019. Officials think the final number, though, will be a bit higher. Acreage dropped to 1.54 million, with less veg oil demand by restaurants due to COVID. However, canola farmers have benefited as prices recently hit 2-year highs following soybeans. While USDA is in the process of disseminating the CFAP 2 payments and Congress is working on another COVID aid bill, talk continues to circulate about an additional market facilitation program payment. Trade has improved and export sales have picked up, especially to China. Grain prices have also rebounded from the COVID lows earlier this year. However, there are still farmers that are feeling the fallout of the trade war and aren't making money, which has some lawmakers and others hinting at another MFP payment.
We hear rumors of another market facilitation program payment. I don't know if that's true or not, but there are people talking about it, and I think that's all within the Ag Department right now, and until they get those plans made, we probably won't know.
Vanderwall reiterated they'd rather have trade and strong prices instead of government support. The Minnesota State Legislature passed Section 179 Conformity as part of the state bonding and tax package during the latest special session. The House passed the measure 100 to 34 and the Senate 64 to 3. The change gets Minnesota in line with Section 179 of the federal 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It sets the cap at $1 million and provides farmers in Minnesota $200 million in tax relief. The previous tax deduction for farm machinery and other equipment was only $25,000. A number of high-profile big money scams have played out in rural areas in recent years. Some have cost farmers, elevators, and other ag businesses millions of dollars, but there are a number of things farmers can do to protect themselves from fraud. A North Dakota state's attorney who has prosecuted some big cases involving farm fraud has some advice. Ladd Erickson says first, check out who you are about to do business with.
Watch out for the gambling stuff, the roving grade trading, the cattle buyer shares, people you don't know on the internet. Those things are ripe. Even if they're not criminal, you're dealing with people that are gambling to make money off your work. And if they overextend themselves, that could fall back to you. I'm not ever getting paid. So know who you're dealing with. Erickson says there is a lot of information online, including at ndcourts.gov to check out a person or business. But if you do fall victim, put as much detailed information together as possible for law enforcement. Ahead on AgweekTV, Minnesota's Colin Peterson is a powerful voice for farmers, but he's in a tough race with a Republican challenger. We'll take a closer look.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
North Star Ag has a new location and a great lineup of equipment to help you work smarter this harvest season. Make the most of your time in the field this fall with the help of a Thunder Creek service trailer. We also carry innovative J&M grain carts as well as H&S beet carts to get your crop out of the field efficiently. North Star Ag is a Meridian Hopper bin dealer too. Visit our website, give us a call, or check out the new location at the Tower City exit right off I-94.
Insurance. It's not something you think about every day, but it is something you need to get to your next destination, to preserve what you've built, to secure what you'll leave behind, to safeguard the things you value most. Enjoy peace of mind knowing you have protection from the unexpected, security all year round, and expertise you can trust. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
For Agweek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Colin Peterson has represented Minnesota's 7th District for 30 years. He's been there long enough to hold a powerful position as House Ag Committee Chair. But his 16th race finds him fighting for his political life. His opponent is former Lieutenant Governor and State Senator Michelle Fishbach. But some say his real opponent is President Trump, who won the district by 30 points in 2016 and has endorsed her. Mikkel Pates talked to both candidates for this week's Ag Week cover story.
Agriculture is a big deal in the sprawling 7th District of Minnesota, but is it a big enough deal to re-elect Colin Peterson?
I thought about retiring, and these farmers came to me and said, you can't do it.
Colin Peterson was raised on a farm near Baker, Minnesota, but in college he studied accounting, which he practiced until he won a seat in Congress in 1991. In a heavily ag district that includes 38 counties along nearly the whole western length of the state, he touts his clout as chairman of the House Ag Committee. Peterson is known as a conservative Democrat and at certain times has worked with President Trump.
I try to work with people, and I delivered the farm bill that he signed. If it wasn't for me, that farm bill wouldn't have been on his desk. I delivered the Mexico-Canada agreement that he signed. Without me, it wouldn't have happened.
I would make sure that my voice was heard and that I had input onto what was going on.
Republican challenger Michelle Fishbach holds a law degree and is a former state legislator and lieutenant governor from Paynesville. She says it's time for a change in the 7th District. She feels confident that she would be named to the Ag Committee if she's elected and continue to represent farmers. That's especially important with a farm bill coming up in 2023, but she says she won't forget the rest of the district.
Making sure that rural Minnesota is strong, the ag industry is strong, and the 7th District is able to grow and thrive, and the economy is strong, and people are able to live and work and raise their families there.
Farmers in this region have gotten used to the clout of the chairmanship of the House Agriculture Committee. After November 3rd, they'll find out if they still have it. For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates at Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
You can read about this important and tight race in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. The hemp harvest is just wrapped up, and one first-time grower in the southeast corner of Minnesota tells us it was a good year. Agweek's Noah Fish visited Root River Gardens at Lanesboro to learn more about the crop.
This was a good year for us.
Phil Reed owns Root River Gardens. He says planting started a little late in May instead of April as he'd planned, but his first growing season went well. Warm weather with timely rains.
It's an awesome experience. It's a lot of work. Growing hemp takes a lot of hands-on work the way we do it and stuff like that. When you're growing for CBD and stuff like that, especially outdoors.
Right now, Reed is selling his hemp to other companies to process into CBD, but his plan is to eventually process and sell it to consumers himself.
If you're getting into this business, you want to make sure you have a place to get rid of your product at some point and know what those values are.
The Minnesota Department of Ag has run an industrial hemp program since 2016, and nearly 600 growers were licensed this year. The department tests each crop to make sure the hemp isn't over the limit for THC content. That's the compound that gives the high feeling. The state's hemp program coordinator says less than 10% of the crop failed that test.
It's a relatively small number, but it's not totally insignificant. But it is a lower failure rate than what we saw last year.
Reed says there are a couple other hemp growers in southeast Minnesota, but he predicts it will grow in popularity as a crop as demand for CBD oil and other hemp products increase. In Lanesboro, Minnesota, this is Noah Fish for Ag Week.
The application period for growing hemp next year opens on November 1st. The USDA has approved the industrial hemp plan submitted by the South Dakota Department of Agriculture. The state is currently working to write emergency administrative rules to establish the program in accordance with state law and the USDA-approved plan. It covers details for applying and being approved for a license, record keeping and inspection procedures, plus production and harvesting guidelines. Applicants can sign up as soon as the rules become effective and hopefully for the 2021 season. Coming up on Ag Week TV, things are looking up for soybean growers. We'll have a harvest and market update. And later, we'll tell you about a new program to help farm families deal with stress.
Challenges. We all face them at some time. But it seems that ag has seen its fair share over the past few years. Has your farming operation been able to stand the challenges? If not, maybe it's time to talk to the risk management specialist at Martinson Ag. We can help you make the sound decisions to help your operation weather the storm. Martinson Ag, your one-stop shop for crop insurance, livestock insurance, and marketing. We are here to take your operation to the next level.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
If you have a basement waterproofing or structural emergency, Safe Basements North is here to help. Our team of basement repair professionals will find the cause of the problem and work with you to develop a permanent solution. Safe Basements North is following CDC recommendations and is here to help keep your home and family safe. For a free consultation, go to safebasementsnorth.com and take advantage of our 12-month, no interest, no payments offer.
I'm Jesse Treble, and peace of mind is a safe basement.
Go beyond the headlines with an Agweek membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to Agweek and AgweekTV.
A shot of winter slowed down our fast harvest pace in the region. Will farmers be able to get back in the field soon? Here's John with our AgriWeather outlook.
Weather portion of Agweek now. For the last week or so, we've been dealing in the northern plains with a remarkable early season cold snap. Not unprecedented, but definitely in the category of being rare. That was not just a little bit, but quite a lot, aided by a little sequence of early snows, which helped to lower the conditions, reflecting sunlight, keeping that cold air lingering around. So where do we go from here? Well, the pattern appears to be settling down just a little bit. Not quite as cold, though I do not anticipate a sudden return to warm air, and it does look relatively dry. Now, frankly, there wasn't a whole lot of moisture that came out of most of the snow that fell last week, but a lot of cold air did come down. That cold air is still around as we start this period. It does look like there will be a gradual retreat of the cold weather through the early part of the week. By cold, I mean high temperatures during the day, mostly sub-freezing. So by the time we get to the middle of the week, that kind of weather is going to retreat back toward Hudson Bay. It'll still be cool across the north. Hot weather really confined to the far southeast, California, and the desert areas in the southwest. As we approach the weekend, it does appear to be almost, granted, probably a transitional feature, but almost a ridge of high pressure, which will allow for some warming into the northern plains. Now, this is practically November, so the warm air is not going to go that far north, but you're going to get some 60s, maybe some 70s, getting up as far north as western South Dakota. As we go into the first week of November, the warm weather will generally retreat just a little bit. The cold weather will drop southward. We're going to get some freezing days, just mostly across the far north. And as we get toward about the end of that first week in November, I actually expect to see the beginnings of some frigid air showing up, at least on the map, dropping down into the northern latitudes as opposed from the high Arctic. That frigid air is where high temperatures are sub-zero, and in some cases significantly more than that. As far as precipitation goes, with the troughiness around this week, the storminess, the snows are gone, but there will be some areas of showers, mostly down the eastern seaboard, and it looks like a focal point down in parts of Texas and Oklahoma. The west will continue to be dry as it has been, and it looks pretty dry spreading out across the northern plains this week. As we go into next week, the first week of November, which over a large part of the United States is characteristically a pretty dry month anyway, it looks like things are going to be very characteristically dry. Not much chance for precipitation across the northern plains. Some rain perhaps getting into the Pacific Northwest, but it doesn't look terribly heavy. Just some rain showers along the eastern seaboard. That doesn't even look all that terribly excessive there. So the general outlook, we've had our cold, we've had our snow, we've had our October fun, I guess. Going forward, most of the region just more cool and dry.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
We have products that no other companies have. That gives us a bit of an advantage and a bit of an edge, and it provides some security to our customer base that we've been here, we're here to stay, and we want to still provide these new innovations to the customers today. It's cold granulated products where we're putting together multiple nutrients. We've got products in our Micro Essentials lineup that contain sulfur and zinc, and we also have products on our potash side which contain boron, which is a newer product for us, which is called Aspire.
Keep your equipment in the field when you need it most with parts from Titan Machinery. We carry a full line of high-quality Case IH parts designed for optimal performance and durability. We also carry alternative parts options at lower price points with rugged designs for a great mix of affordability and performance to fit a wide variety of makes and models. Contact your local Titan Machinery location today or shop online at www.titanmachinery.com. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH parts leader.
We're going to talk today about a revolutionary auto steer product that you guys have developed.
We back one of these things in, it'll drain a 40-acre patch just within hours.
What can you tell us about what dairy farmers do to make sure that their animals are happy?
Their care is our primary concern.
Is there still time for producers to get storage bins up?
Absolutely. We still can definitely get something up and ready for corn harvest.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
For the first time in a couple of years, soybean growers have a reason to be optimistic. The harvest is nearly done and prices are up. Exports are on record pace only a few weeks into the marketing year, with China making up more than half the total. The North Dakota Soybean Council's Director of Market Development says this is good news for growers following 2 years of record storage.
We're now looking at ending stocks just dropping as the months go by, as we see those exports go up. So this is something that's really welcome news to our producers. We're looking at prices significantly above what our farmers have seen for the past 2 years.
The season started out a little wet for many farmers, but the growing season was generally favorable. That was especially welcome after last year's early blizzard, tough harvest, and low prices. This year, a few areas had an early frost, which brought down yields slightly, but North Dakota Soybean Council Chair Austin Langley says yields will still be above average in many areas.
Everyone I know in our area are done with soybeans right now. And so people are happy. Even with the current pandemic and the situation going on, decent prices in quite a while, like you said. Crops are off the field. People sound better. People sound happier.
Langley is fairly confident North Dakota statewide yield will be about average. He says the crop is nearly 95% harvested. Many farmers have been struggling through a poor ag economy and tough weather the last few years, and now even those with off-farm jobs may be threatened by the pandemic. So Lutheran Social Services of North Dakota has added a farm and ranch stress program. They also decided to take action as they saw a 57% increase in suicides in the state. It uses the existing state telemedicine program. It's more convenient for those in rural areas, but it has been an especially important way to reach people during the pandemic.
It was really a natural fit for the farmers and ranchers or people in rural areas that they don't have the ability to leave the farm and be gone for an afternoon. It's portable technology, so they can do it from wherever they're located.
Financial help is available to those who want to use the service. For more information, call Lutheran Social Services or visit their website. Still ahead on Agweek TV, a young North Dakota farmer is up for the FFA's highest honor.
How much does your crop residue cost you? Over time, residue accumulates in your field, building excess carbon levels and tying up your plant-available nitrogen. Residue also traps P, K, and micros and can take years to naturally become available to your crops. This is because soil lacks the diverse microbial life needed to break it all down. With Decomp, you can naturally restore life to your soils and allow the release of valuable crop fertility. Learn more at heftyseed.com/naturals.
Challenges. We all face them at some time. But it seems that ag has seen its fair share over the past few years. Has your farming operation been able to stand the challenges? If not, maybe it's time to talk to the risk management specialist at Martinson Ag. We can help you make the sound decisions to help your operation weather the storm. Martinson Ag, your one-stop shop for crop insurance, livestock insurance, and marketing. We are here to take your operation to the next level.
Agweek brings you timely agriculture news from field to fork in digital, print, and television. Fresh every week, join Jenny Schlecht from the Agweek editorial team and me, Al Windmill, from the sales and marketing team for a deeper dive into farm and ranch stories, along with guest interviews with personalities from the world of agriculture. If you're involved in farming, ranching, or agribusiness, the Agweek podcast is the show for you.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
A young Wishick, North Dakota farmer is up for the FFA's highest honor, the American Star Farmer. 3 years ago, Cole Ketterling was the state's star farmer and FFA president. Now he's graduated from NDSU and is back working as an ag lender at Farm Credit Services, as well as his family's farm and ranch. This month, he's capping off his FFA career by receiving the FFA's highest degree, the American FFA degree. When applying, Ketterling also decided to apply for the American Star Farmer Award. Now he's a finalist for the honor, which is based on his supervised agricultural experience project, scholastic performance, community service, and leadership.
My goal wasn't always to do this to win the award. It was always to do this because this is something I want to do someday. But, the award is pretty great to be recognized.
Star Award winners will be announced on October 28th during the National FFA Convention, which is being held virtually this year. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Agweek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Have yourself a great and safe week.